These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
So anyways, that is what they suggest. Oh, fuck. Pardon me. Which leaves you 75% of that other to pay all your other things, including employees and fuel and anything else you need to pay out of that. So it's saying 25% to 28% of your cost should be is the food and paper goal.
I can see that.
So 28%, I'm probably closer to that. But oh God Lord. I mean, we could probably figure that out. What's that math? 13. No, that's not right. I have to go the other way, right?
I think so.
It's hard. So it was 368 divided by 1350 equals. So I'm 27%. So on a loaded Mac. Higher on the other items, but huh?
I mean, that's, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think I don't think I mentioned the book. So the book is called Food Truck 101, Beginner to Winner, written by Bill and Melissa Moore, who runs the food truck. Is it food truck training?
Yeah.
Facebook group.
Yep.
He runs that. He also has a podcast out there. I can't think. I don't remember what it is. But it's a short one. I think it's like 10-minute episodes. Very focused on a single quick topic or tip. Very much the opposite of ours. But so far the book's pretty good. He's got two of them. The 201 is called Get Off the Truck, all about how you get yourself away from working in the business to working the business. Which I'm looking forward to getting to that one still too. So yeah, other percentages listed, 22 to 25% allocated for labor. A well-run, so it keeps comparing everything to fast food restaurants, which we should fairly much be considered quick service, quick casual. A well-run fast food restaurant spends 50 cents on the dollar, so 50% on food and labor. The remaining 50 cents on every dollar covers utilities, rent, insurance, phone, permits, fees, maintenance, taxes, all the other stuff. And then whatever's left after that is profit. So, yeah, I mean, in the 70s, food cost was 32 to 33%, and labor was only about 18% in those numbers, which brings you to the 3 times cost when you're looking at menu items. So, makes sense.
I gotta pick that up.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I got to that I thought was fairly interesting, they haven't read through the whole chapter yet. God damn it.
Careful, you poke your eye out.
Yeah, probably conjunctivitis or something from the dog sitting on my face.
Maybe it was you he was dreaming of.
It could be. Who knows? Who knows where my fingers go when I'm sleeping?
Oh Lord. This just went a whole that needs to be edited out. I just vomited.
So the next chapter is where I will set up and how to find places, and yeah, and this has a lot of cold calling techniques.
We know you're a fan of that. We talked about that.
Well, I hate cold calling. It's my least favorite thing to do in the world. I'm much better at a cold email than I am a cold call. But things to, so when you're looking at businesses and stuff that may be hesitant to have you come in for a lunch hour or to set up on their property, company and employee benefits that you bring are fast access to food. Could be listed as a company perk, them bringing in food trucks. You could offer an employee discount. Only if you can reasonably expect more general public guests than employees, though, it says. Employee meals are given priority if called or messaged in advance. Future catering discounts for employee or customer appreciation day celebrations. Study shows that when food options are not provided by the company, employees start thinking about where their next meal is coming from 15 minutes before break time, reducing focus on work-related tasks. So all in all, it's great to have us on site. What do you think? Would you ever offer a list of pros for you being there?
I could see it. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see a benefit from it. Yeah, I could see a benefit from it. I think it makes sense. I mean, it's come lunchtime. Yeah, people were I remember being in the office. They're like, yeah, where are we having lunch today? And it's always, 10 to 15 minutes at a time because you're either going to order out or
In my office experience, it was about 10 to 15 minutes after we all started work.
Yeah, that's, I mean, truth to that. It's probably half hour to 45 minutes of the day because it's right after you started work and then right before lunch. Yeah, I can see the benefit of it for sure. I like the idea of it. I could see it being on a flyer. I mean, if you're making cold calls, but.
All right, and then the next section is this a good event? So how do you determine if an event is good or not?
I for what it's worth, been having a lot of questions about good events lately.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Like questioning other people about like, hey, have you done this event? Have you done that event? So I booked. All right, over here we have a rather large, or in Lansing, basically, we have a rather large, call it a fresh fruit and farm market kind of thing. It's called Horrocks. They're building a new one in Battle Creek too. So
we have one over here too.
Do you have a Horrocks there?
Yeah.
Do they do food trucks?
Yes.
So I booked it. I booked a day there. It's like a Saturday from 12 to 8. They have a beer garden, they do have a standard truck there every day. It's like a tie truck. But it's 15% is their fee to get it or to do it. So in what we talked about, I said, is there room for negotiation, like to do like a flat fee versus a percentage? They're like, nope, the owners don't want that. I said, okay. So I asked one of my friends who went there, shout out to Hard Knocks Food Truck, Lee Burmeister, how he did. And he's like, I'm not going to share numbers, but it's worth it if you can stand the fee. A lot of people won't stand. I'm like, okay, so it's worth it if you can stand it. So I guess, at the end of the day, what does that actually mean? Like stand the fee, like you'll go there, you make $10,000 and you got to, give away 1,500. Yeah. I can stand that fee, but if I go there and make, 1,000 and I got to give 150, I really can't stand that fee. So it's like, when I see that, how do I know if I can stand the fee? Like,
I wish people would be more open to sharing numbers, and we don't need his sales numbers. Give me a customer count or transaction count that you had.
Yeah.
I don't care what your sales were because it doesn't matter. I want to know how many people you served, and then I can make an educated guess, on 5% either side of that, and then apply my average check.
True.
So I think I wish everybody would be more open with customer counts or transaction counts at least. It would make it a whole lot easier. We did Horrocks twice over by us. Same thing. They have a beer garden. We backed right into the beer garden. We did two Saturdays, maybe 3. Not last year, but the year before. And it was the same 15%. So they haven't raised their rates at all, which is, I guess, good. But for me, not worth it. And we had decent weather all 3 days. And that was the first year they were doing beer garden, at least over here. I don't know how long they've been running it over in Lansing, on Saginaw Highway on the west side of Lansing. Yeah, I know exactly where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
I had like 3 different apartments within a quarter of a mile of there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I don't know if they started all the beer gardens about the same time. My guess would be yes, but so maybe it's just taking a little while for them to be busier.
Yeah, it could be.
But they weren't ever, like, we didn't see a bump in sales from being there.
No,
it was a normal
that's the
day
thing.
for us. So paying the 15% made it a less than day for us. And that's how I thought about it. So if I can make the same amount of sales setting up in a normal spot that we have, that we don't have to pay for, why would I go here?
True.
So, but I'm not, I mean, who knows? I have no idea what your Horrocks is like. So, it might be a completely different scenario, and it might be hopping there all day Saturday.
And that's what it's kind of what I'm hoping for, but it's more of, I guess it's not overly far from my house, and it's a good spot from what I've
When's your date?
heard. What's that?
When are you going there?
April 1st.
So do you have time to go and check it out on a Saturday and see how?
Yeah, I can go. Well, yeah, I can go up there. Well, not really. I can't really go up there until like now. I can go now until December, March 1st, but
so this weekend.
pretty much.
Are they doing food trucks still right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, cool. They've got a Thai truck that's there all the time, and then they just have just a whatever, like a rotating.
Yeah, we were always there alone too. The 3 times we were there was never multiple trucks. So I mean, maybe they are that busy there that they can justify 2 trucks. I would imagine they would have a hard time getting trucks if word got out that they have 2 trucks there and there's only 50 people walking through the beer garden.
Well, on their I'm on their website. I don't see any listing of food trucks. I see pizza because I think they do pizza there. They haven't posted on their Facebook page since the 1st of February. So I'm hoping it changes because I obviously would love promotion,
Right.
I don't know. So we're going to find out. We're going to hope for the best. And like the guy said, he's like, just give us a chance. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. I'm like, I don't want to pay you X amount of dollars to see if it doesn't work out, but
yeah,
yes, you kind of have to.
And I think we had to provide them with an actual like printout of sales. Like they weren't going to it wasn't a good faith. Here's your 15%. Like we had to provide proof, which I found a little off-putting.
Well, here's my cash sales for the day. Damn, it was just not a good day.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. So yeah, I thought that I have some faith in your trucks. I know you guys. I know there's a high potential to get screwed over. But yeah, I have a little bit of faith in us.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's very much so.
Anyways, sorry.
Me too.
So the calculation in here for an event is 22 to 33% of attendees will buy food.
Hold on, 24%?
22 to 33.
Oh, okay. All right. Wow.
And that's based on vendor survey type deal. So there's, which I'm guessing is the huge variation in the number.
So what's the number you've been using? Half?
Ish, yeah.
That's what I've been.
Yeah, so I'll divide, so whatever their expected count is divided by the number of trucks and then divide that in half.
Oh, see, I was doing divide the customer account in half and then divide that by the number of trucks. Is it the same? Is it the same
I
math?
don't know, is it the same? Is it two ways to get to the same? Are you doing the math right now?
I can.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say there's 2,000 people.
Okay.
So I would divide that in half. So divided by 2 is 1,000 people.
So you have 1,000 people eating. Yep.
And then let's say 3 entree trucks.
Okay.
Divide that by 3. It's 333 people.
Okay. Now I'll go 2,000 divided by 3 divided by 2.
2,000 divided by 3.
There's some math guy out there just fucking screaming at his.
Yeah, same thing.
All right.
All right.
Look at that. Look at that.
Listen, I went to a backwoods school. So
well, and I wasn't positive until we did it. So I thought there was some order of operations or something. God.
So we've been using half, and this one he says to use like
22 to 33%.
Wow. So a third is on the high end?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's use your math. So 2,000 divided by the number of trucks, let's say 3, that's 666. And divide that by basically a third, so 0.33, whatever.
Yeah.
It's 200 people, basically. So it's another, if you do, it's another 100, in this case, another 133 people if you do it the other, or the old way, I guess. Did he give any insight on why it's that number?
So it was research from experienced vendors, with some vendors being pessimistic and others and using a much lower percentage. So 22 to 30% of people attending long non-food truck centered events. So these are like music festivals, not like a food truck Friday type of thing, where obviously people are coming to eat.
Okay.
Make sense? Will purchase something from any food vendor. Refiguring potential guests would leave you with a possible average. Well, this is using their other math up top, but so let's see here. Simple math shows potential. So they, in their math, they used 100,000 attendee event. It was like a 2-day music festival type thing. So 20 food trucks use and 100,000, leaving 5,000 potential customers per truck.
Excuse me.
And you and other vendors would serve. So that 185 people per hour if everybody ate. That is that's a lot. So yeah, that's I thought that was an interesting figure there. So, which, I mean, for me, that's still a good event. I'm serving 200 people. I'll take 200 people.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a good day for us. So, and then, yeah, I mean, figuring out what level of sales your business can handle. The important question is, could your business handle that volume? So, which is why we stick to smaller events typically. We don't do a lot of the 100,000 people music. Like, I would never go anywhere near Faster Horses. There's just no way we could even, not to mention the fees are astronomically stupid. But there's no way we could keep up with the crowd. I mean, we'd be done in a half hour every day.
Yeah, it's not.
Hey, that's awesome. So yeah, I mean, those 2,000 per day events, 2,000 people per day events are great events for us, where we can sell a lot of food still throughout the day, and we can get mileage out of it to where we're not selling out super quick. And we can participate in the event for a longer period and still have a great day. So yeah, those Granville Vintage Fest events, and even the bluegill frolic down in Marcellus in the middle of nowhere. Was like a 2,000 to 3,000 people a day event with a couple trucks, and we had a good day, and we sold out both days because we underestimated the turnout that would be in this middle of nowhere little festival that centers around a bluegill fishing contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we missed the busiest part of the night because we sold out just before live music started both nights. So yeah, we're going back there this year, and it'll be a better year. But so yeah, I think that for that part is the most important part. What can you handle with the food that you cook? I mean, us barbecue guys some of us are hampered by the small batches that we do, and others that cook ahead and can handle that kind of crowd that are, I mean, even like the rib guys who are doing a little bit of a par cook and then finish them on a open flame, which I've had great ribs from some of those guys. But they can just do it longer. Like they're built for those large crowds. And I know my little trailer is not.
No.
Like I wouldn't even look at 100,000, like even a 20,000 person event for a day. I wouldn't entertain probably, because again, I mean, if you're that busy, where there's that many people and you're going to be that busy and we're done in 2 hours Silver Lake is probably the largest event that we attempted. What would you say? There was probably 5,000 to 6,000 people there.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was disgusting.
With,
yeah, there was
with how
a lot of
many
people there for sure.
with how many vendors? I mean, there was probably 10. So yeah, and we were done way early.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have cooked much more food than we did. So yeah, and then you're stuck. Like it doesn't do you any good to sell out in an 8-hour event an hour early when you can't leave.
No.
So yeah, that we are a lot pickier about what we decide is a good event. It's not whether it's a good event, it's whether it's a good event for us and a good fit for us. So I mean, how do you pick between, are you seeking out any of the bigger events, Skippy? Or what is a big event for you?
I have, so I'm looking at my calendar. So for me, last year I did a 4-day event. I had to keep my trailer there. It was tough, but I did it. It was a downtown kind of mural festival kind of thing. I think we did, I don't know, $8,000 that from Thursday to Sunday. And by the time Sunday rolled around, I didn't feel like cooking everything that I've been cooking for the last 3 days. Like it was also going to rain. So I cooked like ribs and chicken legs and still sold out. So I'll focus on maybe the 1 and 2 days, like food truck rallies or something like that. We don't have a huge amount of festivals out here that, like, I'm not going to do a county fair. I don't really have any desire to do that. I don't even have a desire to leave my trailer somewhere.
That was going to be my next question. Is that a deciding factor now?
Yeah, for what I had to do, yeah, it is. Absolutely it is. To compromise your cooking style or your product because you're cooking it, in advance, because that's the only way you could figure out how to get it done in that time frame. Granted, there was no difference in flavor or whatever like that to me, but I just never want to take that chance, I guess. Oh yeah, I would absolutely be able to pull in and out easily. That would definitely be a factor. If I had to back up and unhook, that means I have to carry my ramps for my generator, and that's just a shit show to begin with. So
yeah, I mean, so we did 2 last year where we left the trailer on site. I mean, and for us, in the way we cook is not hot and fast. So it didn't really change much for us other than we were doing everything that we normally do here. We were just doing it somewhere else.
Yeah. Did you have three
so-
people with you?
What's that?
Did you have three people?
We had for service, yes. For Granville, definitely. The Bluegill Frolic Festival, that smaller one, we only needed two. Chris and I could have handled it. We had three, but two of us could have, just because it was we were set up for a longer period of time, but there was never we never had huge lines.
So my concern throughout this whole 4-day festival was running out of fuel.
Mhm.
Running out of gas. Like that was the only thing I was really, really concerned about, was just running out of gas. So I would, anytime we didn't have a line, I would walk out there just to check the gauge. And I'd end up, just topping it off every morning because it ran real well without,
Yep.
without the need for, we even had the air running and things like that. But that was probably the most frustrating thing, is just not knowing where that was, because it was in the front of our trailer. So I had to go search for it. But like security purposes, those are all factors in mine. And there's typically only two people running my trailer, is me and somebody else.
Yep.
So I get concerned about the small things like that.
Do you have locks on your doors? Can you lock your trailer?
I do, but it's like an RV lock. It's not,
Right.
if somebody really wanted to open it, they definitely could.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But it doesn't cover the porch, so whatever's out there, somebody really wanted to be a dick, they could definitely do something. But
yeah, you wouldn't want anybody peeing in your charcoal basket or something.
or peeing on my wood condoms.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah. No, otherwise, I think we're staying, we don't have any multi-day festivals this year, just one or 2 days. Just one day, really.
I mean, you have a pretty good idea of how much gas you go through, don't you, on a load, like a full load?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It still freaks me out.
Yeah.
It just because it's not something I'm in control of. I can't just look at it right then and there. I almost thought about putting a camera like right there just to check on, just to be able to check on it. But
I mean, yeah, when we roll up in the morning, that's always the concern, like what if for whatever reason something got wet or something and it tripped the breaker on the generator, or
oh yeah,
because I know I have a pretty good idea now of the gas we go through, and we go through about a tank. So we have the two generators tied together, so it's a tank each for a full day. But once we hit nighttime, like we filled them right before we left to go back to the hotel at the one. And it used hardly any gas overnight, just because everything's turned off. You got two fridges running, and I think we even turned off the AC just to conserve. And that was the first night we had left it overnight with those generators. So it was a little worrisome, and we went back earlier than probably we would have normally. But everything was great, and those refrigerators on there don't pull anything.
Yeah,
apparently.
Yeah,
so.
it's
Ours
been different.
So
yeah, that's the only thing that I really get worried about, is just that. My helper always tells me, why didn't you, if we sold out, why didn't you cook more food? And it's hard to tell people I only have a certain amount of space to be able to cook all this food. That's the only thing that I get frustrated with, is trying to, justify why I cooked X amount of food. Because I know that, like, we're at a vendor event where there's 4 other food trucks and nobody cooks barbecue, and everybody's doing like tacos and burgers and something like that, and they're not selling out. So it's just money I'm leaving on the table because I'm not, quote unquote, cooking enough.
But again, on the opposite side, we know the flip side of the coin is how many times have we been left with food?
Yeah, like those burger guys don't have to cook all those burgers, if they're doing smash burgers or something like that, or don't have to cook all those fries. Or so
it makes us cry throwing away briskets.
It makes me cry throwing away mac and cheese. It makes me cry throwing away a pack of buns because they expired. It's just stuff.
Especially
I don't.
Those brioche. God.
Luckily, I don't use those bougie buns.
Oh, the white buns, they never expire. They're good forever.
Got so much artificial shit in there. They're 3 molecules away from plastic, just like Parquet.
Good stuff. Nothing but the best for our customers.
Yep.
Good old plastic buns.
Plastic buns. And that's stuff like that though is people ask me, okay, why, like, what buns do you use? Like, people ask, what buns do you use? I'm like, just a standard hamburger bun. And I look at them like when I say just a hamburger bun, like I look for the discontent in their face, like, oh, it's nothing special. It's not a pretzel bun. It's not Texas toast. I'm like, no, it's a hamburger bun. It's the one that we feel works for the best for our food,
Yep.
And it's the only one. I can't find these. They're made by Sara Lee. And I can't find them anywhere else other than just my Gordon's.
Really?
I don't like using, the stadium buns because the bottom bun never holds up to anything. With the amount of juice that's in our meats, it's like, it's hard to find a good bun that holds up to juice. That's why brioche is a really good barbecue bun, because it can hold up.
Right now, my favorite ones for brioche are the Fancy Meyer brand, the Fredericks.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites so far. The problems we had with the Costco ones is they'd split really easy.
Okay.
Because they'd have like the knife cut down the dough in the middle, so they'd split a lot on the top half of them.
You end up.
And we had some from the Detroit Bread Company or Michigan Bread Company, whichever it is. They're out of Detroit, and they were good, but they were really big.
Yeah,
so they were the diameter was huge on them. So I was like, oh, that doesn't look good on there.
No, mine's just a regular 4-inch bun, but it holds up, and it's like, do you spend the money and buy an 8-pack, or do you try to find something that's a 12 or 16, but the way we've got it, it's working good so far. I just have to make sure I tell the Sara Lee guy every time I see him on Mondays to stock up, and which he normally does, but because I know I'm not the only one buying them.
Yeah, well, it's good.
But I am getting back out this week, hopefully.
Besides Saturday or just Saturday?
Well, this coming Saturday, but I'm probably depending on weather, which looks fairly okay. I'll probably get out there a couple days earlier.
Do you guys have snow in your forecast?
That's a great question. Allow me to peruse my cellular device real quick and tell you. Wednesday is 100% chance of wintry mix with a high of 34, which is going to continue to Thursday morning, but then it's a high of 46. I'm worried about Friday being a high of 26. I'm probably going to make sure I have water in my tanks on Saturday when I leave to go to the event. But yeah, 37 for Saturday and 36 for Sunday. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday looks like they're, other than Friday being chilly, it looks like it's clear. And like Thursday evening looks a little clear.
I mean, Wednesday is the same for us. It's snow with brief sleet.
Tomorrow looks windy.
I don't have wind on mine tomorrow. And then Thursday's forecast is freezing rain. So another Thursday system coming through with a very cold Friday. So yeah, awesome. It was cold last Friday. We actually turned the burners on the stovetop on.
Really?
Just to help keep, because the paninis did an excellent job of warming that space for us.
Yeah.
We don't have any hot things outside of the warming cabinet and the steam table, which isn't a ton.
No.
There's just not a whole lot of warmth generating vessels in there. So yeah, it was cold. I think it was a high of 19 or something like that last Friday. It was cold. So yeah, we keep getting into this, we are in this new pattern of where it's decent over the weekend and through Tuesday, and then the days I'm open.
It looks like over here, most of the week is anywhere from 15 to 20 mile an hour winds too.
That's awesome.
That's just great.
Piece of cake, man. No problem pulling the trailer.
Going through the mountains of Kentucky and my wife's little pregnant roller skate, we felt just out of the blue, sorry. We felt what was like somebody hit the side of our car. Like the wind made a thump on the side of our car, to the point where we both looked for like something that ran into us. It was the craziest thing I've ever felt before. Just thought I'd tell you that.
Probably just pop the panel a little bit, maybe a strong
I
enough
don't
little
know.
burst that
But it was, being in a car and it was windy going home was very weird. Like I've been in a truck, obviously windy
Right.
going home. And I guess in a truck, I really don't feel it. In the trailer you do. But in my wife's little Jeep, I felt like every wind gust possible, which is just really weird for that little car.
Hmm.
Nothing I was expecting.
Well, Skippy, I got nothing else.
Yeah, me neither. It's time
I'm out
to
of stuff.
shut our faces.
Yeah. Shut up. Yeah. I think we'll wrap it up there. What?
Yeah, no, let's wrap it up.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to another episode or watching another episode. We're gonna do another big push right here for questions, comments. I'd like to get a nice Q&A session going on one of the next 2 episodes for before we get going on the full-time season. Anything you want to ask at all, pretty much everything's an open book. I will not field any more questions about pricing of our loaded mac and cheeses. We'll officially close the book on that. Yes, I know we could make more money, but so could everybody if they raise their prices. So, anyways, have a wonderful day, Skippy. Have a wonderful week. Good luck on your setups. Find us all the places social and make sure you subscribe. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. Subscribe on the Spreaker, the iHeart, the iTunes, wherever you listen to us, and comment, rate, and let us know what you guys want to hear about. Thanks, guys. Bye.